Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever it is in your part of the world. I am Deuscain, your variety type streamer for the night, and tonight we are playing Spiritfarer, the cozy afterlife farming sim on a boat, where we are ferrying spirits around in the afterlife and trying to help them let go of their baggage and move on. As of last stream, we found out we might be one of those people who are dead. That's why we're seeing dead people. But no, it seems like we either are dead or are on the edge of death, and it's pretty soon going to be our turn to cross over to the other side, and that's going to fuck me up. But I think we're really close to the end of the story. So we are going to try and finish the game tonight so we can have a fresh start with our streams. I think next week, I don't know if let me double check my calendar for something. Do I have a collab next weekend? I do have a collab next weekend. Okay. So probably not gonna have a break next week, but well, maybe I will. I don't know. But yeah, we are gonna try to finish the game tonight, and so we can start something new whenever we are doing streams again. So But before we jump into that, as always, we're going to do a little bit of just chatting here. So, hi everybody, how are you? I hope you're doing well today. I had a bit of a frustrating day, honestly. I've mentioned in the past that I do work with IT tech support. And sometimes some of that work involves having a bunch of tickets that we have to kind of juggle around and figure out, like, who do we work on first, who's next, you know, pick an order. And sometimes it's based off severity of issue, sometimes it's based off of availability of customer. We'll work with the person in the morning who has a small issue if they leave at like 1:3 in the afternoon for the day. So this morning I sent an email to somebody saying, hey, I'm with tech support. I want to work with you on your issue. What's your schedule and availability? And she sends a response back, I'm available right now. Don't ever respond to somebody asking that question with that answer. All that tells me is you want me to prioritize you. No. I can't guarantee that, and it also is not answering my question. It just annoys the hell out of me. And unfortunately for them, I actually did get something in that was an emergency basically right after. Before I could reply back to them and say, yeah, I'll help you. I got a ticket in for somebody can't get into their computer at all. And I'm like, well, clearly this one gets my priority. And that one, I called that, like they have a high priority ticket in, can't get in their computer at all. I called them, they don't pick up their phone. I leave a voicemail, they don't call me back. I called them twice today. I called them in the morning when I got the ticket within like 5 minutes of getting it. And then I called them again in the middle of the afternoon. Neither time they picked up. Neither time they called me back and left a voicemail, or responded to my voicemail. So that whole stuff is happening. So I got that message from that one lady saying, hey, I'm available right now. So I shoot back like, well, I'm not available right now. Please give me your schedule. Please let me know your schedule and availability. And I get this message when I get back from lunch sitting in my inbox that's basically like, because ordinarily I send the messages through our ticketing system so that when they get a reply, it's documented and I don't have to write anything down. It's being a little lazy on my part. Or arguably efficient rather than lazy. But anyway, she just makes a random email out of nowhere, takes her last message where she said, I'm available right now, and forwards that to me and CCs what I think is her boss on it. And she's like, oh, could you help me with this right away? Blah, 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 blah. This is really affecting my productivity. So I get back from lunch, and the first thing I see is this lady basically hiding my reply, telling her that I'm not available yet, and to give me her schedule, and involving a manager. And I'm like, okay, I need to lie down for a minute, because I am super pissed by this. So eventually I calmed down enough to be professional again, and I write a long email where I'm like, hey, as I mentioned earlier, I was asking you for your schedule and availability. I do this because we have We work with sometimes multiple people at the same time. We need to know who to prioritize first based off the severity of their issue and when they're around. That's why I ask for things like, when do you start your shift for the day? When do you end? Do you have a regular lunch, and when is it? Do you have any meetings I need to work around? Telling me right now isn't an answer to any of those questions. So, as I asked you earlier, and I repeated all the questions at the end, and she eventually wrote back like an hour or two later and gave me the answers I was asking for, but she was kind of snooty about it, and I'm just like, lady. Also, this is a lady who put in a ticket, this is actually her, like a repeat ticket for her, because she put in one at the beginning of April, and she was there for like 2 or 3 days before she started a leave of absence and was gone for a month and a half. So this lady is giving me sass about like, oh, I told you, last time what my schedule was. Ma'am, that was a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago. Tell me again. Tell me again. Please, I need to know. So, obviously didn't get to her today. Obviously the other person didn't get back to me. I think I got a little bit done today, but mostly I was just kind of frustrated by those couple that just kept getting in the way and kept causing problems. On top of all that, I had something else hanging over my head because there was somebody trying to do something. They were getting like an error message. Well, not even an error message. They were getting a message saying like, hey, this action you're trying to take is being blocked by company policy. And she's like, oh, turn that message off. I'm like, that message seems intentional. Like, they didn't do that by accident. They're blocking it on purpose. We'll try some things. So nothing really worked, and I got a hold of somebody late yesterday. It's like, oh yeah, no, we blocked that intentionally. Here's the reason why. It's to comply with the security requirements of one of our contract partners. I'm like, oh, yeah, she's not getting that unblocked. Like, we're gonna get in trouble if we violate the contract with that partner. So I have to call her back and have that conversation with her, which she's not gonna like. But she wasn't even in today. She, like, as of like midday yesterday, she was out of office the whole rest of the week. And she'll be back on Monday. And I'm like, okay, great. So here's a conversation just hanging over my head that she's not gonna like. And what the hell? So it's like 2 or 3 things like that just no one's getting back to me. No one's giving me any useful information, and it's just annoying. So, yeah, bit of a frustrating day. A little bit grumpy about that. If you saw me on Twitter, which I do recommend following me on my socials. I try and be on both of them a little bit. I am generally more active on Twitter, but if you do say something to me on Blue Sky, I will see it and I will respond. But those are the 2 main ones I do, as well as my Discord, which that's linked in the socials too, but I probably should do that one again. But yeah, that's kind of the big thing that was like today, was just the frustration of trying to get people to frickin' respond to me and give the correct answer instead of the, oh, please help me right now, Mr. IT man. Blinks eyes innocently. Me knowing their bullshit game is like, listen here, you. I asked for a schedule. Right now ain't a schedule. Answer the dang question like a professional adult. Which people don't like being told that. For some reason, who knows why. Oh, man. So, yeah, a bunch of frustrations today. Yesterday wasn't too bad. Yesterday kind of flew by. Did play a game in my off time over the last 2 days. I had one of those naughty adult games that I like to play in my off time. Played through and did the whole thing. Did 7.1 hours to clear it. Don't have 100% completion. It is done. I beat the game. But I don't have the 100% completion because it involves, like, playing through the game multiple times. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm very good on that. So. But, so that was a fun time. Let me see what else. I did mention on Monday that I was a little late for stream that night because I was putting in a commission request. That was for my Halloween outfit model. That's almost done. I've been getting updates from the artist throughout the week, and I actually got like a color version of it on Wednesday, maybe Wednesday, either yesterday morning or Wednesday, and it's looking good. Like they've brought they brought my vision to life, and also they love it because you know I love to have my troll Halloween costumes. I like to have some fun with it. But this person did really well. I shared one of the drafts with a friend of mine, and her first question was, why? And I'm like, okay, there's a story. The story is this. And she's like, oh, I love it. It's so stupid. I'm like, yeah, I know. I love it too. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, man. I'm gonna have some fun this year. But aside from that, I haven't done anything too crazy. Yesterday was also apparently Hamburger Day in the US. They're making up some of these holidays, I think. But I took that incentive to be like, yeah, sure, I'll order 5, guys. I'll get a burger and fries. Burger was good. Fries were bad. Fries were definitely these have been in the heat lamp all afternoon fries, which are always shitty when that happens. That really sucks. But the burger was good. Five Guys does have a good burger. But aside from that, have I done anything else? Oh, I got another update on a series I was reading. So earlier this year, I mentioned about how I had finished some stories I was reading, or a story I was reading was about to finish, so I ordered a bunch of new books, and I've been slowly working my way through them. I read a whole bunch back in February when this happened, and they all came in, and now I've been like slowly getting through the rest. Well, the next volume of So You Like Me and Not My Daughter came in this week, which I think might actually be the last book of that particular series, and that was pretty good. It's a good, if they do stick to just a purely 8-volume series, which this was volume 8, like it's a good, like, will they, won't they for long enough, and then they kind of get over themselves and end the story, and it's mostly happy. Well, not mostly happy. It is happy. It is a happy ending. But like I really do like it. They don't spend too long on the will they won't, because sometimes those rom-coms can get a little bit in the weeds of like, oh no, this is, 20 volumes of will they won't they before they even kiss. Like here, no, like they get serious pretty fast. And the few times in this story that they have like an actual like, oh no, what if there's a love triangle? Like they subvert their own tropes, and they do a fantastic job of it. Where like, what was it? I think the one person was like a girl so the idea behind So You Like Me and Not My Daughter is a young woman adopts her niece after her sister passes away. The niece is like 5 years old, and because of how she steps up for the kid, a friend of the family who is at the funeral sees her doing that, is like, wow, she's amazing. I'm gonna marry her someday. And he's like 10. So 10 years go by, the boy's in college, or about to graduate college, and the mom's like in her 30s. The kid's like 15, 16 years old. And so that's the age breakdown. So like one part of the story is in high school, this boy pretended to date a girl in their school just to kind of like keep other people away from her, because she was getting a lot of like bad attention from people when they were harassing her to date them. So he pretends to date her, and I guess she shot her shot with him, and he turns her down. He's like, no, I have somebody I like. She's not going to be hurt by us pretending to do this, but I'm not interested in you for real. No offense. So she shows up now as they're adults, and the mother, the girlfriend mother, finds out about this, and she's a little awkward and apprehensive about the whole situation, and he explains it, and they kind of off-screen that conversation, but like girlfriend mom is still a little anxious, so they have like a sit-down conversation about it. And at one point she's like, no, you can't have him, he's mine, and I'm gonna stand up and fight for what I love. And she's like standing up in the middle of a cafe to do this, and the high school girlfriend's like, I didn't want him. I'm seeing somebody already. We just moved in together last week. And the mom girlfriend is so embarrassed. She's like sitting down, beet red. I think they're telling the story in a flashback, and like they're walking home, and she's just like, I can't believe I said that. And he's like, but you were so bold, and you were so brave, and that was so great. I love that. And she's like, don't you mock me, don't you dare. But yeah, like the lady's just like, I'm gearing up. I'm not gonna back down. You're my rival. And the girl's like, what? Why am I your rival? I'm not even dating him. I'm dating somebody else, and we're moving in together. Oh. Never mind, I'm gonna sit down now. It's just this wonderful moment of like, oh, here's the next story arc. And nope, no, there's not. No, it's not. It's not a story arc at all. They're just sitting down and they're shutting up. Oh, man. Even like the work friend in the book, who's always like asking the older woman like probing questions. How's the relationship going? Oh, you two progressed to that stage yet? When they finally like get everything worked out and start having a proper relationship, she's all kind of bummed out because she's just like, man, I was hoping there was going to be some drama here. I was hoping to milk this for a while. And the older woman's just like, the girlfriend's just like, really? Come on. I'm right here. So like they're tying up a lot of loose threads. I'm pretty sure it's done. I would be surprised if they had another volume. I'll keep an eye out for it, but overall it feels very satisfying to have ended where it did. And like always, as soon as I sit down at the end of the night and let dinner start digesting, boy oh boy, the eepy sleepies are coming in. My god. Let me see here. I'm gonna give my friend a lurk, but I think they called off tonight as well. They did. Or at least they haven't gone live. Wait 1 second, I'm gonna poke somebody. What was up next week? I'm not remembering the schedule wrong. Yeah, they're supposed to stream. I wheeled them. Okay. Now that I've finished yelling at my friend to at least post a tweet that you're canceling stream, darn it. Let's get jumping into the game and get started. Grab one thing here. Oh, that's already done. Sorry, I popped open a tab in Chrome for like, oh hey, this got to the mute button in time. Heck yeah. I'm like, oh hey, this person does ASMR. Cool. I'll open up a tab and check them out later. And I'm like, oh wait a minute. If they raid out, I might never see them again. So I have a link to their socials open. Okay. So last time we said goodbye to Bruce and Mickey, the bull and the hummingbird. We said goodbye to... Does it have... we said a goodbye to the Owlman, Gustav. So I think the only ones that are left are Stanley, who is a little mushroom boy, Jackie, who we have a quest somewhere else, and then Buck, who I don't think we can finish his quest, from what I remember reading. I think Lily's the only one we can really do stuff with that's going to progress the story. Also, with the last quest we did, we have all of this going on here. So yeah, we need to talk to Lily at night to progress the last story, which I think is the end of the game. at the Humberg Shrine. Okay, so we got to travel around a little bit. Oh, as one side effect of what we did last time, we now no longer have to rest at night. The boat can sail even into the evening. Which reminds me, I ought to get the upgrade for faster ship. Pine tree planks, 2 electrum sheets. Let's get some water and done. That sounds like the chickens laid some eggs. Ha-ha! Is that quartz? Yeah, quartz. There we go. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, Electrum's so annoying. And again, this is the correct stuff. Electrum. Second Electrum. Hi, chickens. Bang, 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 bang. Forget what the upgrade for this is supposed to be and what all it requires, but I remember it being kind of annoying. There we are. Okay. So I need pine planks. And this is specifically at night in Hummingbird. I'm two planks short, really? Oof. That's enough planks, but it's... I'm annoyed I messed it up. Alright. If that didn't work, we're gonna go over here. So if I had to hazard a guess, I would say that we probably have to go to each of the shrines. I was close to the cellar, too. Linen fabric, huh? That was way more than I needed, wasn't it? Yeah. No, it's definitely only to the sides. Where you at, kid? There you're at. What's that? Wait. That's what a cellar is? You put things in there and then you wait? That's it? Man, this is boring. Not at all what I had in mind. I'm so disappointed. I wanted fires and explosions. What will I do now? This is so stupid. You're not stupid, kid. You're glorious and you're wonderful. This kid frustratingly does not like... I think he hates fruits and veggies, but he does like breakfast. Oh, there's a mirror in that cell of yours because it's looking Kuda. Oh. Bless your heart, you crazy bastard. Alright, goes 40% faster. Now it's 60% faster. Rose gold sheets, XP potions, which I don't have yet. Diamonds and spirit flowers, 80% faster. Oh, hey, it's the guy. Oh. Corn dog and noodle soup. Fried rice and fish sticks. Pancakes and sunny side up eggs. Wait, onions and garlic are... Sure, why not? That one's cheap. I've got that one. I've got that one. Alright, so they're both fed. Alright, let's pull some onions. Just one onion. That's the second onion. There's a third onion. That's the mulberry, yeah. Alright, so she's here now. Shrine time. Welcome back, J-Log. No worries. Oh, right. It's our annual Colmar visit at Atol's house. The whole family is there. Except me. Look at Uncle Atol. At the grill, obviously. Look at your face. You're covered head to toe in barbecue sauce. And it's adorable. Mom is beaming. She's so young, but so tired. Look at her eyes. Those are the eyes of someone who's not sleeping. Nice job, Stella. Keeping Mom awake all night with your baby tears. Jesus. Actually happy Mom's sleeping right now. She needs the rest. Plus I get to talk to you all alone. And have a drink. Let's turn to another page. Something from the middle. Another picture when we were living in France. Hope my week is going well. Thank you, J-Log. A picture from when we were living in France. Gwen is in this one. We're riding our bikes together. You and Gwen would always outpace me, leaving me behind. I guess no one wants to be their friend's little sister running around them. No one wants their friend's little sister running around them. When I was young, I admired her so much. Remember, she would disappear for months on end and show up out of nowhere. I thought she was bold and amazing. Mom and Dad loved her. She was some kind of parent whisperer. I guess our home felt like her home. Oh, there's a postcard on the next page. It's from Japan. Furugawa. That's why there's Japanese stuff, because we spent time abroad. I don't want to use this. Alright, let's get over here and get on the yak person. It's gonna show up any minute now. Meh. Alright. Oh, despite me, it's just a little bit further back. Alright. Fast travel. Furugawa. Probably get a couple of these done a night. If I'm fast enough. Give the sheep a little cut. I wonder Something I'm looking forward to this weekend is I'm probably going to get to see the next episode of a podcast I like. Which promises to be interesting. They're recommending different pieces of media to one another that they haven't seen before. Ideally. And, like, kind of having a conversation about it. So I think last time was... the one guy had to watch season 5 or 6 of The Simpsons. Which is like, he'd seen it, but like bits and pieces and hadn't actually sat down to watch it. And he was kind of surprised about how much in that season was what he just kind of interpreted as like quintessential Simpsons. That was a bit interesting. And the other guy had to play this like really finicky mech game that the other guy recommended and actually shipped out his own console so the guy could play it because it's got like its own controller, its own like setup that's different and special. So yeah, the guy's like, all right, this is gonna be hard for you to play, but I think you'd enjoy it, so I'm sending you my stuff. But yeah, looking forward to that. Because they usually do it around the end of the month, so if it's not this weekend, it'll be next. That's Giovanni. This photo album sure makes you look well-traveled, sis. Listen up, because I'm going to read your embarrassing postcard. Let me find my famous Stella voice. 1 second. Dear Mom and Dad and Lily, my trip has been amazing so far. I'm even making friends. What a boring thing to say. Our sister kind of sucks. At this rate, the summer vacation will be gone in a flash. Last weekend, I went to Shirakawa-go in the Toyama Prefecture. I took a tour to visit these beautiful rice paddies. It was an impressive sight. Next to these incredible houses at the bottom of the mountains. It was especially beautiful at night with the glow of the moon. Oh, Stella, you perv. He's an art curator from Germany. He's creating an art exhibition in Nagasaki. The tour was in Japanese, so he helped me with some of the nuances. He gave me his address and invited me to his show. I miss you all. I can't wait for you to visit me in a few months. Stella. P.S. Stay out of my room, Lily. I didn't. Wow, you were so outgoing. I don't remember ever being like that. So full of life. I was always a bit dramatic, let's say. I wonder if you ever went to see Gustav's exhibition. Exhibition. That was his name, right? I never got to go on that trip to see you. Dad got sick around that time. He had trouble walking. His body was swelling and everything hurt him. Never understood why they kept it from you. They probably knew you'd come back as soon as they told you. To take care of him. I got to see Dad get sicker and sicker. I wasn't able to do anything to help. I still remember your face when you got home. For a second, it was like you didn't recognize him. Let's keep going. It's not like you've ever shied away from death. You basically made it your whole world. I'm sure you've got some pictures of when you moved to Montreal. Let's take a look. That's the ice country, it's Montreal. Down the mountain I go. God, how far ahead of Daffodil am I? Hey, kitty. Alright, well, before we get another lovely rendition of the horns... Actually, you probably won't even be able to make this one. Oh, it's probably the stuff in the thing. It's yogurt. Put the yogurt back in. That's how it works. The shrine is here in Nordweller. Alright, well, we got an ad showing in about 2 minutes, so let's trigger that now and give ourselves some time without that interruption, and then we'll be back. So see you in a few minutes, folks. All right, everybody, we are back. Let's hop back into it. All of the sheeps are fed. Last upgrade here. I have the spirit flower for it. I don't have the XP potions. What does Buck even want? Oh, I gotta talk to his friends in different... Ah, crap. This quest locked. So Montreal. So she grew up somewhere. Went to France for a while. Then was living in Japan abroad for a few months. And then moved to Montreal. That's interesting. Hey, Stress. Thank you for the lurk. I just missed it, didn't I? Amethyst and diamond. The Oxbury Shrine. I'm at the wrong shrine? Loneburg. North Sea Pier. Palestine Mines. Where's Oxbury? I assumed Canada was the cold place, which I'll admit it was an assumption on my part. Bottom line, South Point. Old Central is Salisbury? There's the mulberry tree. Like they just keep adding to it. Okay. But yeah. As we go to this place here, let's do a tour of the houses. So this was Gwen's house. So she was the first spirit we recruited and the first one that we have to let go. Then I don't fully remember the order for the next two. I think I got Atoll second, our uncle. So he slept here in like a fish tank, and he had a whole shop over here with supplies and stuff. He had a little shower to wash himself off, so the sawdust was gone. He hung around for a while. A lot of his quests and stuff were related to food. And what is a quest thing doing up there in the corner? Who wants? He sent me a quest. But no, so I thought stuff was a lot of food related things, and the last thing he wanted was, I think, fried chicken, which required me to get far enough along in the game to have the crusher so that I could make oil. Those events are always so pretty. But yeah, so Atoll was an interesting one. We lost him much later, and he was also the only one that we never really got to say goodbye to, which is also a thing that I got the impression happened in real life too. Atoll just kind of disappeared someday, and like nobody in the family knows where he went or what happened. He's kind of just always working and wish he'd had more time for his kids. He seemed like a good person, but just like he put all of his energy into work instead of his family. Then we've got, I think this was Summer. Maybe I'm misremembering. Should mention, Gwen was a snake lady and Atoll was a frog. Or, Gwen wasn't a snake lady. Gwen was a deer. Summer was a snake lady. So she had this nice room with all this stuff. This is where she would sleep. And then she had, like, crystal healing stuff here. So she was a, like, chemist turned hippie? who talked about how she like made like a bunch of like GMOs, genetically modified foods, and then she kind of regretted it because she realized she was making poison. And she's like, I don't feel good about this. So she stopped. She got a farm out in the middle of nowhere and went and started just growing all natural crops and got herself a partner who loved her very dearly, and sauerkraut, cheese, yogurt. So yeah, Summer was cool. She was, if I'm remembering her name right, I'm really bad at names, honestly. But she was very into spirituality and healing and things like that. And they don't really say what happens to Gwen and Atoll. But Summer is the first person that we have like a definitive, like, she was dying from cancer. And her whole thing was she had a dragon that she was afraid of. And that dragon is where we would harvest things like quartz and aluminum, because it would just have these nodes on its back that were supposed to be reminiscent of cancer and cancer growths. And she, we would help her go and face the dragon, and she would, rather than have us kill it, she's like, this thing is suffering. Attack the growths on it and free it too, because no living creature deserves to hurt like that. So she was a genuinely noble soul. Then we have this person who I have completely forgotten her name. Pause menu, requests. You know what? There is an easy enough way to tell this. And I have just been unwilling to go and do it. Oh, it's not that, it's build. So it's Gwen, Atoll. It is Summer. Next one was Alice. Alice was a hedgehog character. I don't know what her relation to us was. We might have just known her through whatever work we're doing. Fakatya. Aw, kiddo. So, yeah, Alice was an interesting one. She came and went pretty fast, and what started going for her was her memory, her recollection of things, and she kept confusing us and mixing us up with her daughter. But she also is the one that gave us this nice, lovely wardrobe place. Oh god, I didn't even realize we could change the cat. But yeah, Alice... I wonder what Alice's thing was, because she really wasn't here for long. Like, we took her to a couple of small places, and she left the crew pretty quickly. She didn't leave a strong impact on me, but I think she did for Stella, our protagonist, because I think that was... I get the impression from what another character said that Stella got a job where she was like facing down death on a regular basis in like a medical capacity. And okay, Okay, so just cornbread. So I got that impression, and I got the impression that Hades was saying something about like Stella was doing it to avoid him or numb herself to him so that it wouldn't hit her the same way, probably with regards to like her father passing. Couple of things. Yeah, I kind of get the impression like Stella was in like hospice care, where she was taking care of people that are on their deathbeds and not expecting to live very long. Yeah, Alice was just a nice old lady, and we would take her for walks, and she would get us confused with her daughter even till the very end. Well, actually, until the very last moment where she's like, "You're not my daughter. Sorry, I get confused sometimes. It's probably time for me to say goodbye," and then we let her go. Next big one would have been Astrid and Giovanni. This is their house. So Astrid was some kind of like large cat, like a lynx, I think is what she was supposed to be. And she had this nice little 2-story building with her and her husband Giovanni, who he was a lion. And they had a very like on again, off again relationship because he would continue to leave home, he would cheat on her. There was a lot of bad blood with what he did and how he treated her. And he actually left before she did. Like, she was more resilient. So she had a bed in here, like under the TV, because you can always tell where their bed was because you have these flowers there. So this was her space in the house, and he would usually be out late. He would sleep outside on this couch. And he was an interesting one because he's not a oh jeez, I just failed that. He's not a particularly good person because again, he is cheating on his partner. But talking with him and getting an understanding of his perspective was really interesting and really kind of what I like about the writing of this game, where it's very understood that like he's a complex character. He's meant to be a complex character because he lived through a war. He fought people. He killed people. He watched people die in front of him, including one. He told a story about him and his friends getting to a town and getting soup for the first time in a while, like something actual food instead of rations. And they were really excited about it, and their one friend was coming back in from patrol, and as he was running into town, he steps on a landmine and basically blasts himself right in front of everybody. And Giovanni's right out there, grabs this guy, and he can tell right away he's not going to live. And his friend's last words to Giovanni was, don't eat my portion of soup. And that stuck with him, so he had this kind of zest for life of, I have to live every moment to the maximum because you never know what's going to be the last. Because he saw death very close. And very often. So that was behind a lot of his philandering and misbehavior. He's just like, I could die at any moment and I don't know how long I'll last. Of course I'll kiss the pretty woman. Never mind that he had a wife waiting for him at home. And one that he loved. When he left, the one thing that he said was his one regret in the world was that he had to leave Astrid behind. He died first. And yeah, that was rough. That's your first Montreal apartment, isn't it? When you moved out of the house to the big city. My big sister striking out on her own. Yeah, that place was a dump. Sorry, sis, it was. You could decorate it all you wanted. It would always smell whatever your neighbors were cooking. And you could hear them yelling at each other. Your rent was probably so cheap, plus you were all alone. No roommates. Well, not quite alone, with Daffodil. Speaking of which, I'm still mad at you for taking the family cat. I don't remember us talking that much during that time. You were busy with work, I was still in high school, not paying much attention. I don't think we had much in common. Except death, maybe. For me, after Dad, I had to do something about it. I was trying to shut it out, but it kept coming anyways. I don't know how you can deal with it constantly. Working at the hospital with people at the end of their lives, around you all the time, helping those people who are suffering in front of your eyes. There was Summer. Yeah, here we go. She did not go quick. The cancer stayed inside her and took its time. It even gave her some hope, but it came back harsher. Mom was devastated. It was probably for the best that Rose wasn't around to see it. Rose was so kind-spirited and fragile. Summer described her differently. Losing her dear Summer would have broken her heart. Remember going to Summer's house with Mom, all those plants and that heat? It was like a sauna. She said something about the body being like all living things, especially plants. I just remember being mad and sweating a lot. Then there were the friends you made along the way. That's Bruce and Mickey, I think. Oh no, that's Giovanni and Astrid. Giovanni and his wife Astrid. To hear you talk about them, they were basically your adoptive grandparents. And the stories that would come out of their mouths, the cheating, the lies, the heartbreak, all those headaches. Can you imagine what Giovanni put Astrid through? She was right at his side at the end. Oh fuck, I'm tearing up already. I knew this game was gonna fuck me up. Even if she had moved on, even if she had found someone else, he was her one and only Gio. Forever. Oh, fuck. They both knew they only had each other in the end. That's how I want to go out, sis. Holding the hand of the one I adore. I think I need a refill. Maybe stretch my legs a bit. I'll be back in a minute. Don't you go anywhere. Man. Gramus Peaks. That's pretty close. Yeah, Giovanni's such a weird case where he hurt her so much, but he loved her and she loved him. Like, it's funny the difference between how each of them left, because Astrid was very much like, don't live too long, life's nothing but pain and suffering. Versus Giovanni, who is just like, life's beautiful and wonderful and amazing. Live every moment like it could be your last. And that's such a contrast between them. But he described his wife as though... It was such a beautiful way to describe her. I don't even know how I would say it. Like it... No, don't take it out early. I didn't even know I could do that. What is olive oil with olives? What does that do? I'm morbidly curious about that one. But yeah, Giovanni would talk about his wife having like a light that came out of her. That was what really drew him to her and attracted him to her, and it was something that he always loved about her. And he never really let that go, even though he went and did other things, even though he hurt her He always loved her, and he knew her value as a person. It's just kind of sad that he couldn't get over his worst impulses and avoid hurting her, because he genuinely did. This is where I gotta go up a second time. Got it in time. Hey, I'm back. I'm sad to report there were no cute doctors wandering the halls. Look at you, you look so frail. But even on your own hospital bed, you're still gorgeous. Well, this whiskey bottle is half empty. Let's just go ahead and say you drank the rest. Remember that phone call you gave me last year? You'd taken a sabbatical from work. I had to call the center to learn about it. Yeah, she took a few months off. She's got some bad news. What a weird way to learn that your sister isn't doing well. Did you call me 2 weeks or something after? It's maybe 2 in the morning here. Your voice was shaking. I could hear you breathing heavily. Started talking about the trees around you in the air. No, hi, Lily. No, I'm not doing well. Just talking about the trees in the air. You said it was cold. It felt like death even over here. I didn't even know where here was. It went silent and you said you'd be home in a few days. I didn't know what to make of it. Were you sleepwalking? Was that whole thing just a dream? I was scared. You came back and told Mom and me of your diagnosis. And now we're here together. Mom is awake, and I'm awake and I'm holding your hand. If you can hear me, I love you so much, sis. You're not alone in the woods anymore. We're here, Stella. You'll never be alone. You've never been alone. Stella's last voyage. Stella and Daffodil. Bring ourselves to the Everdoor. Oh, fuck me up. Interesting. There wasn't anything about Bruce and Mickey, even though they were part of it. But they were like 2 gangsters, and I guess Mickey, the older one, was sick, and his younger brother Bruce was a chatterbox, and he was like, "Yeah, if my brother goes, I'm going." Veggie stir fry. Yeah, we're making our way over to the Everdoor to say goodbye. Obscure canopy. Yeah. Now let's going back on our housing tour. Yeah, Astrid and Giovanni were interesting, and it's funny that like even after Giovanni breaks Astrid's heart for the last time and she kicks him out of the house and he's living at the bar, his flower grows here on the sofa outside her house. That's where his heart is. With her. That's really beautiful. This is Gustav's house here, and he's trying to do a museum collection. And then we get to add a clock and some other accoutrement. Nice, pretty desk. Just a ton of yogurt. We love yogurt. The ticking of 3 clocks in slight disharmony. Frustrating. Just more stir fry, come on. Alright. Cheese has got to go on some things. It is cheese and eggs. You stopped. Good for you. Berry's the name. Looking for berries. There's none here. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. So I don't think I have any blueberries. Hey, some gold. Leave me alone, please. I need the fresh air. Daffodil, to me! Oh my god, if she's too far, she balloons up like that. That's why I was hearing the noise other times. Oh, that's funny. That's fucking funny. Push back a little bit of it. 1 gold ore, 2 pine logs, and a limestone. Yeah, that's not much at all. There's this whole, like, section of the map over here that, like... There's so much there that I guess I'm just not gonna dig into, ever? And they have sections here where it's clearly you're not supposed to go. So, like, this area down here is clearly a no-go, but, like... It's interesting that how little there is to actually explore. Then the map is still bigger than it initially seems to be. omelet. Nice. Cheese and flour. What is cheese and flour? Hey, kid. Thanks for the stuff. I'll give you some... Do you like a chai latte? No, no stimulants. Okay, enjoy that breakfast. No, don't order the same thing twice. But yeah, Bruce and Mickey were a bit of an odd pair. I don't really know what their departure was about, because we kind of did a bunch of nice things for them, and then they took us out to the Grey Mist Peaks for camping. So I guess they were like one of the last people we helped before it was our turn to be the sick person. I don't know. It's so strange. Wait, what? Why is there silk here? That's supposed to be mulberries. I think the game glitched out and put silk in the mulberry tree. Why? Why, game? Why? Or did I plant the wrong... Oh no, I know what it is. The mulberry tree grows silk fibers. Okay, no, it is what it is. Ah, we're wrong. Okay. Can I remove trees? How do I remove trees? So I don't want that tree there. Oh, cheese sticks. I assume it's more cheese sticks? Ah, come back here, you little shit. No, I'm trying to give you food. Stop, please. Oh, shit. Oh. It's everybody's spirits. Everybody's getting a hug. So that's Gwen, and this is Summer. Atoll. Do you want yogurt? So he cannot handle dairy. And onion rings? I'm giving you a hug too. There's Astrid. And it didn't notice right away, but all of the characters actually have their flowers on them. Or I think, yeah, Gwen's got hers on her shoulder, so it's easy to miss. Summer's got them on a brooch on her chest. Otzel's wearing one on his necklace. Astrid is where it's very easy. She has horns, and they're floating between the horns. But this is Giovanni up here. And he's got like a corsage, I guess I would call it that. Me, you two murder hobos. And this was our neighbor in Montreal. We didn't really get to talk about her much. But our first neighbor in Montreal, a nice old lady whose memory and mind started going, but we kept her company and we talked to her and we showed her all the love and support we could. The last thing before we go, what happens when you mix? Oh, because it's the ever gate, or the ever door, and it won't let me do things. Okay, I guess I won't do that. Alright, time to cry. From this point onwards, there's no turning back. Do you want to continue? Yeah. Let's bring it home. So I wonder who the next Spiritfarer is supposed to be after us, because we were given our power by Charon, the mythical boatman of Greece. And there's no one to really pass that on to anymore. I beat the game already? More or less. Like, I'm in what feels like the final cutscene. I'm looking around for anything to give variety to the scene, but it's just the butterflies behind me, the rowing of the boat. It's quiet and it's pensive, but it's just forward. The Cat in the Hat. Yeah, that's perfect. Oh, fuck. Oh, they didn't say a word. It still fucked me up.
Flowing through the seas of time, memories that were left behind bring us closer to the end of this journey where we grew as friends. Take me through the mist and storms.
Oh, man.
Waters that are still unknown. Under guiding starlit sky, we will learn how to say goodbye. And I'll take your hand and guide you through.
I'm glad I played, but this is such a difficult game. I don't know if I would replay this, honestly.
A place, a world.
Yeah, so that's Stella there. Is that Gustav, or is that someone else? That's Alice the Nice Hedgehog Lady. This is, I think, Gwen. Where's Bruce and Mickey? I think this is Bruce and Mickey. And this, I think, might be Summer? They're like vaguely a certain shape. I think this is Gustav.
One takes to move on to a place, a world unseen to us all. But it's okay. We'll be together, my friend.
Must be an intense one? Yeah, it is. Because it's definitely a thing that, like, as I get older, like, there's a certain reality in recognizing that I'm going to have a lot more goodbyes in my future. And this game kind of put that in the forefront. And that's really hitting me. Yeah, that's really hitting me. You talk about oversight or foresight your way, I guess. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, man. But no, it's a beautiful game. I'm glad I played it, but yeah, it's a lot. It's heavy. But it's worth experiencing at least once, I think. So I had to mute that to blow my nose. Let's put some different music on and let's get a raid going. Oh, man. It's a really beautiful game. Funny, I was playing it because I'm like, yeah, this will be like a nice, simple... 10 more minutes? Yeah, I can wait a little bit longer. I'm just looking for somebody to raid into now. Like, it's a really beautiful game, and I'm glad I played it. It's heavy. Let's see what else we got here. There's people doing like a crab games tournament. Oh, hey, someone's playing Sea of Stars. Nice, I hope they're having fun with it. It took me 12 streams for the game. Yeah, I thought it would take me only about 10, but I took a little while in the middle because I was running around trying to do stuff and not realizing that certain items and upgrades were locked behind quests, and I wasn't playing the quests side of things super efficiently. I actually ignored it for a good long while. So, yeah. That's the thing that held me back. It slowed me down a bunch. But yeah, once I kind of got a hang of things and figured out like what the focus was for progression, it was a lot easier to keep moving forward. So, but yeah, you asked about what my plans for the weekend were, J-Log. I don't really have anything big planned. I think there's supposed to be some nice weather tomorrow, so I might get out and do like a walk somewhere. Try and stretch my legs some more. I'm trying to get back in shape this year, and I need to actually do it. So, maybe I'll hit a cafe. I didn't do that last weekend. So, yeah. But otherwise, I don't have any big fancy plans this weekend. I usually don't. Gotta do what you gotta do to keep up the pace. I'll have to set the pace initially, because yeah, I'm out of shape. So I'll have to work on fixing that. And this is not my usual time to raid out, so a bunch of people I'm used to dropping in on are not online yet. Aww. This person just started recently. And they're playing a good game. So let's send you over to somebody that's doing some Hollow Knight Silksong. Alright, everybody, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night and a good weekend. Reminder, if you like my content, you can check out any of my clips or VODs or shorts over here on the YouTubes. If you're interested, you can also join my Discord here. They get to see stuff before anybody else does, including the new summer wallpaper, which I posted online this week, but Discord got to see it a few weeks early. And if neither of those are your cup of tea, you can always check out all my active socials there. But let's grab a raid message. Thank you again, everybody, for joining me on this journey. Thank you for keeping me company tonight as I bawled my eyes out, which I knew was going to happen. Like, when this game was hitting me in the feels for some of the regular side characters, I knew the main story quest was absolutely going to wreck me. And yeah, it had me crying without saying a word. And that's good writing. So, yeah. Oh, man. But take care of yourselves. Love each other. If this game taught us anything, tell the people you care about how much you care about them while they're still here. And I will see you again. I might stream next week, or I might take a break next week. I have to decide. But Raid is triggering, so I'll see you later, folks.